Hey everybody, day 34 and 35. Sorry I didn't do a video yesterday. I was driving all day from Syracuse to Maine and it was a bit tough. Long drive. But I had an interview today with I'm at my cousin's place in Eliot, Maine. I had an interview with his neighbor today. His neighbor grew up here. He was in the Navy, he did construction, he ran a sawmill, he did a lot of different stuff, and he's worth, his accent alone was epic. It was amazing. But just his life was really fascinating, and his views, his conservative views definitely come from, honest day's work, honest day's pay, that kind of concept. So, I don't know, he was really cool to spend time with. I kind of wanted to. Oh, and he built his own house. I've thought. Anybody ever thought of building your own house? I've had that thought many times. Like, how cool would it be to build your? He built everything with his own hands. It took him like 20 years. I mean, they were living in it after like a year, or maybe even after like 6 months. He had like a roof and a floor, but to completely finish it, I think he said it took him like 15 to 20 years. So that's some dedication. I don't care what you say. That's some dedication right there. To be working on your house for 15 to 20 years, and it's awesome. It's really cool. No, not a single nail. No nails. There's mortar and tendon. I don't know any of you construction guys out there. Mortar and tendon was the building style that he used. Anyway, it was pretty fascinating. The other news is I'm just exhausted, and I think I'll feel better tomorrow. That drive really took something out of me. But I made it to the Atlantic. I really wanted to do today's video. I forgot about this. I really wanted to do today's video from the Atlantic Ocean, because I went from Pacific to Atlantic. It would be kind of poetic, but just imagine that instead of tools and stuff, there's the Atlantic Ocean behind me. Yeah, just one last thing, and then I'm going to go to bed. And that is that I'm having a really cool dialogue with two different really cool dialogues. One, I hope you guys might watch this. So Chris and Dan, I hope you guys don't mention if I mention you guys. I hope you guys don't mind if I mention you guys. So Chris is a friend of a friend, conservative, didn't want to be on film, but we had breakfast yesterday. Seems like about 3 weeks ago that I had breakfast with him. It was yesterday. But really cool. The kind of conversation where you differ in your views, but you're both looking for the right words to express exactly how you feel. And so there's like there's a common purpose or a common goal. That's the kind of dialogue I had with Chris yesterday at breakfast, and it's continued on email. So I'm really enjoying that. It feels very in tune with the spirit of the documentary. And then with Dan is on my side. He's, liberals, and we're messaging back and forth. I hadn't messaged him in a while because he had messaged me once about Walmart after I had that Walmart post like so long ago, and then I don't know. I felt like things were a little weird. Sorry, Dan. Hope you don't mind that I'm telling everyone all this. I felt things might be a little weird between us, and I always was like, in the back of my mind, I was like, I want to email Dan. And finally today I did, and he emailed back, and he's challenging me in the sense of like, what am I up to? I don't think I've really made it clear to him what it is I'm after. What the spirit of the documentary is, what I'm trying to accomplish. And so I always gain when I have that kind of conversation, because I get closer and closer to being able to really verbalize what it is I'm up to. And it helps me understand and makes me more effective. So that's really helpful too. In light of that, I was interviewed. The tables got turned, and I was interviewed by a guy named Tom Clammer. He's got a blog and he's got a radio show called Tell Somebody, but he also has a blog. So he interviewed me for his blog, and so I'll include the clip. It's long; it's about an hour or so, but it's a pretty cool, me trying to explain to his listeners what the documentary is about. So I'll include the link in my when I post this video to Facebook, and when I email it to all you guys, I'll include the link to that in case you want to check that out. I listened to it on the drive from Syracuse to here to Maine, and man, it's trippy listening to yourself, I found myself being really critical, like, oh man, I wish I had said that better, or oh, and there's one thing I missed, I left out here that I should have got in. But it was also kind of really fun, and he has this this theme music, little, just sort of a solo guitar that plays in at the beginning and then it plays out at the end. And at the end, when that guitar played, after sort of my final thoughts and his final thoughts, like, I had the feeling of the documentary, and what it would feel like to have all of my efforts and all of my traveling and all of your support and everything that we created, put to a soundtrack and credits rolling and hopefully shown in a theater somewhere sometime. And I don't know, it was a really cool moment. I was really touched and really moved. I'm really appreciative of him for putting that together. So, all right, I'm gonna take my sappy self to bed, and I hope you guys are doing good. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. I'm headed down to Boston, and then through Connecticut, New York City, Jersey, Philly, and then to Arlington, Virginia. So if you know people along the way or got suggestions of who I should talk to, let me know. All right. I hope you are well. I will talk to you tomorrow.